Hey everybody, Riku Wisteria here. Today I'm going to be doing my first attempt at a top 10 list, and for my first top 10 I'm going to be doing top 10 characters I think may be appearing in Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, these are just my personal top 10, so I'm not asking anybody to agree with my top 10. You may have your own thoughts on who you think is coming, but these are the top 10 characters that I think have potential to show up in Kingdom Hearts 4. There's no definitive proof that they actually will, but I think have a likely possibility. Now, let us start off. So, why do I see Della Duck as a potential Kingdom Hearts 4 character coming on? Well, it's not because she's the mother of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, it's not because Donald Duck is her brother, and it's not because Scrooge McDuck is her uncle. The reason I can see her coming onto the Kingdom Hearts 4 franchise is because she's got a very adventurous spirit, she's got a very go-to attitude, and that blends really well with the game in my opinion. And it's really something reminiscent that we saw of Sora himself. So does this mean I see Della Duck as a potential team member for a Keyblade wielder? Maybe later on in the franchise, but at this point I think that they will most likely put her in the Disney Town / Disney Castle area because that's where most of Mickey's friends are, outside of Donald and Goofy. So what are some things I could see Della Duck doing in Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, one thing I could see from her is her selling you gummy ship parts, because that just fits really well with her character. She's a fix-it person, she loves to tinker, and honestly I think that her giving you gummy parts to upgrade your ship, that would really work well for her character. So why do I see this particular show representation of the Avengers? Well, we've already had the Big Hero 6 group come in, and they were Marvel if I can recall. Now, the reason I see this particular representation is because honestly, I think it works better for the game. Now, I understand that Avengers has live-action films, and I understand that Kingdom Hearts has used live-action films in their franchise, like Pirates of the Caribbean. But I honestly think that the cartoon series for the Avengers works better for Kingdom Hearts, and that's why I see a greater potential of it coming onto the franchise than the live-action films. Because you just got so much more character depth, you got so much more to work with, that I honestly think it works better for the franchise. And this is why I see more potential for the cartoon series showing up in the Kingdom Hearts franchise than the live-action series. But that is just my personal opinion. So why do I see Oswald as a potential character for Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, I could provide a fan story and say, he's the actual Master of Masters, has been all this time. Or I could say, he got lost in Quadratum just like Sora did, and they need outside help in order to get back to the Realm of Light. But everybody's forgotten who Oswald is. Now these are just fan stories. Why do I think that Oswald really is coming in? To be truthfully honest, it's because Disney made the announcement that they're doing a remastered version of Epic Mickey 1. Now that thing hadn't been touched in years, and maybe I'm reading something that isn't there. But honestly, the fact that they announced that made me think, are they going to be putting him in Kingdom Hearts 4? That would be awesome! So, who knows? He could be, he could not be. But that's the reason I think that he could show up in Kingdom Hearts 4 is because of the announcement of Epic Mickey 1. So why do I see Wart, aka Arthur, as a potential character for Kingdom Hearts 4? Main reason? Merlin. He's been part of the Kingdom Hearts 4 franchise since day one. Now, I understand that there are probably going to be some out there who assume that Wart has already removed the sword from the stone, and he's already become King Arthur. And you're right to assume that. I honestly do not have an argument to state that that can't be possible. But I do see the other possibility that he has not removed the sword from the stone. Because I do understand that Merlin is a time traveler. We saw in the movie that he traveled to the 21st century and back to the time of King Arthur. So it is potential that throughout this entire franchise, we have not gotten to the part where Wart removed the sword from the stone, and he has still yet to become King Arthur. But this is just assumption because I don't know if this is post or pre-sword removal. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do see the potential of him being in Kingdom Hearts 4 based on the fact that Merlin is in the franchise. But that's just me. So my main reason that I think Lilo and Stitch will show up in Kingdom Hearts 4 is because Stitch has been part of the franchise since day one. He was a summon in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and you got to see him as an NPC in Birth by Sleep. So I honestly see great potential for them to show up in Kingdom Hearts 4. I honestly think that it would most likely show up in Kauai, and I think timeline-wise would probably most likely be when they are trying to hunt down the other 625 experiments from Jumba. But that is just me personally, so whatever Disney decides, they decide. But this is why I think that they have great potential to show up in Kingdom Hearts 4. So let me be clear, I have seen the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, and yes, I have seen the scene where people say they see the foot of an AT-AT or an AT-ST walker, and this seems to indicate that we're on the moon of Endor during that scene. To be truthfully honest, I have my skepticism on that. It could very well be the foot of an AT-AT or an AT-ST walker, but it could be a satellite dish for all I know. There was just very little to see there that I honestly don't know if it really was the foot of an AT-AT or an AT-ST. Do I see potential for Star Wars to be in Kingdom Hearts 4? Of course I do, and I would love to see the Millennium Falcon in Kingdom Hearts style. Now, where in the Star Wars timeline do I see things happening? I honestly think that Rogue One would probably be the earliest they go, but Episode 4 is the most likely to start off, or later on. While I would think it would be awesome to be in the Clone Wars timeline, I honestly do not see it being likely, and more likely that it'll be either at the time of A New Hope or later on. So this is just me personally thinking of where in the Star Wars timeline they would go if they do use Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts 4. So with Final Fantasy characters being part of the franchise since the very first game, I see it very likely that Cloud will return since we saw him in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Now, granted he wasn't in Kingdom Hearts 3, but that doesn't mean he's never going to be there again. So I think it is very likely that Cloud will show up. Will Sephiroth? Sure. I have no idea what they plan to do with Cloud and Sephiroth, but honestly I see it as a very likely possibility that we will see them again in Kingdom Hearts 4. But this is just me personally, I don't know how they're going to do it, and even if they will do it. So we'll just have to wait and see on this one. So it might sound a little weird to some, but why do I see potential for Minnie Mouse to be a fighter in Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, if you recall in Kingdom Hearts 2, she was helping us get to the throne in the throne room when we were fighting off the Heartless. And if you look at past incarnations of Minnie Mouse, her character wasn't exactly a pushover when she was on screen. Now, she wasn't a mean girl, but you didn't see her acting like a damsel in distress when she was on screen either. So I could see potential for her to be a fighter. Now, of course, if she is a fighter in Kingdom Hearts 4, I think they would probably give her a different outfit than that dress that she was wearing in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And the end of 3. So, who knows? She could be a potential fighter in Kingdom Hearts 4 for us. Is she going to be a Keyblade wielder? Could be, I mean Mickey's one, so why not make her one? So, why do I see Aladdin making a comeback in Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, in Kingdom Hearts 1, you saw the very first Aladdin movie. In Kingdom Hearts 2, you saw the Return to Jafar. So, Kingdom Hearts 4 could jump to somewhere in the timeline of Aladdin the series, because there's a lot of potential good villains that they can use in the Kingdom Hearts franchise from Aladdin. Now, of course, they could also jump straight to the King of Thieves, and we go from there. And that would bring you to the conclusion of Aladdin, because you finally get Aladdin and Jasmine to finally marry. So, who knows? They could go in the series, or they could jump straight to King of Thieves. Do I see it likely showing up? Yes. Is it a possibility that it won't show up? Yeah, there's a possibility, so I'm not going to say anything definite, but I see it as a good potential. So, why do I see Jim Hawkins and John Silver showing up in Kingdom Hearts 4 with their Treasure Planet crew? Well, to be truthfully honest, I think it's because of the pirate aspect, because in Kingdom Hearts 1 you had Peter Pan, and that was also in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. In Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 you had the Pirates of the Caribbean, and we reached the conclusion of the main storyline in Kingdom Hearts 3 when we were at the timeline of At World's End. So if we're going to continue to have pirates in the franchise of Kingdom Hearts, I think Treasure Planet would be the next aspect that they go with. And this is why I see John Silver and Jim Hawkins being very likely candidates to interact with throughout the franchise. And who knows, maybe you get some new recipes from John Silver, like his famous Bombs of East stew. But this is just me personally. I'm sure you guys have plenty of other ideas of what characters we could see in Kingdom Hearts. And honestly, with a lot of characters that you guys put out there, I probably would not argue that those are good potential characters. These are just my personal top 10. I think that there are many other characters who have great potential to show up as well, but these are the top 10 characters that I think have potential to show up in Kingdom Hearts 4. There's no definitive proof that they actually will, but I think have a likely possibility. There are other top 10 lists that I look to tackle in the future, but this was the first one I wanted to tackle, and I wanted to see how it went with everybody viewing it, and I would actually like to hear your thoughts on what potential characters you think will show up in the franchise. What characters do you think are likely to show up that, honestly, we don't have 100% on? So let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Have a good day.